Hey, what's up everyone? Tech Geek Josh here, bringing you guys a review of the Huawei Ascend XT. Without any further ado, let's get started. To start things off, the XT features a massive 6-inch IPS LCD capacitive display that has a resolution of 720 this way by 1280 that way, and a pixel density of 245. Now I got a few phones over here that I would like to compare it to, just to give you a size reference to how big this device actually is. So here I have my Galaxy S3, which is 4.8 inches. So as you can see, the size difference there. By the way, it's currently dead. Next I have the Blue-L, and that has a puny 4-inch display. The XT is a whole 2 inches bigger. And I do apologize that this lighting is red, is making my camera go red. Next we have the iPhone 5s, which has a 4-inch display, as you can see there. And the Pixie Glory LTE, which I actually thought was my biggest phone until I got the Ascend XT. So the Glory here has a 5.5 inch display, and the Ascend has a 6-inch display. Not too much of a size difference there. So the Ascend XT is officially my biggest phone that I own, and that's not a bad thing one bit. The XT features an 8 megapixel rear autofocus camera with an aperture of f2.0 and 720p recording. Camera features include autofocus, touch focus, self timer, face and smile detection, HDR, face beauty, voice capture, all focus, watermark, ultra snapshot, and object tracking, and a 2 megapixel camera right up front. So as you can see, this camera packs a lot of great features. The Ascend XT runs Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow, as you can see right here, and has an octa-core 1.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 616 chipset with 2 GB of RAM, 2 Cortex A53 CPUs, one clocked at 1.5 GHz and the other clocked at 1.21 GHz or 1.2 GHz, and an Adreno 405 GPU. Now you would think with these very good specs that it would perform well at almost everything it does, and that's what we'll take a look at right now. Now that quadrant has finished, let's see what we got. And before I do that, I would just like to let you know that I did do a test when I first downloaded this application, just to get a general idea of how this device scores. And this device on quadrant scores just outstanding, far better than any device that I currently own. We get a score of 26,028. That is unbelievable. No other phone of mine scores that by any chance of the imagination. And of course my camera's having a hard time trying to pick it up. See if I can get it to focus. There you go. 26,028. Very good score on the Ascend XT. No complaints here. Alright, Geekbench 4 has just finished, so let's go ahead and see what we got. We get the camera to focus. The single core score, we come in at 617. As for the multi-core score, we come in at 1974. And honestly, I thought it would have done a little bit better than this, but I believe this thing might be running the, how you say, modded down or cheaper octa-core processor. We're not on the board for the single core score. As for the multi-core, we do beat out the LG Nexus 5, and we do beat out the Xiaomi Mi 4C. And yes, that's how you pronounce that. Xiaomi, Xiaomi Mi 4C. So overall, not a bad score for an octa-core processor, but come on, it should be faster. Who agrees? The XT has 16 gigabytes of built-in storage with around 7.97 gigabytes available to the user. The handset storage can further be expanded via the microSD card slot found on the left side right up here, which can be accessed with a SIM ejection tool. So, storage out of 16 gigabytes, that's not good. Half of the UI takes up all of that. And this is running Emotion UI 4.1 for anybody wondering. So that's where all the storage went, is to the EMUI 4.1 launcher. But 7.97 gigabytes for me, I can deal with it. I don't use many apps, so it's all good for me. But to other people, they would probably like at least 10 to 11 to maybe even 12 gigabytes free out of 16, but that's not what we get here with the Ascend XT. Oh yeah, and the XT can support up to a 32 gigabyte microSD card. Powering the XT is a non-user removable 3000 mAh Li-on battery that has a talk time of around 17 hours, while battery standby time is around 280 hours. And as you can see right here, I have about 75% battery remaining, which is very good. Battery life so far has been excellent. And it's claimed that I have 125 hours and 31 minutes left until dead. So, thumbs up on battery life for the Ascend XT. And before we get on to gaming, I would like to point out that the Ascend XT here is loaded with the usual AT&T apps provided by AT&T themselves, such as Amazon, Amazon Kindle, AT&T Family Map, AT&T Locker, AT&T Protect Plus, I'm assuming the text is cut off, AT&T Smart Wi-Fi, Device Help, DirecTV, Drive Mode. They also included Firefox as a browser, and we also have Chrome, so that's quite nice. Facebook came pre-installed, has an FM radio, which is pretty cool. Wild Tangent Games, Lookout, a mirror, which is, well, self-explanatory. My AT&T. I'm not sure if Phone Manager is an AT&T app. I think it's just part of the phone. Setup and transfer. Smart limits. What else? Uber. Usage Manager. Visual voicemail. And YP Mobile right at the bottom. So quite a few AT&T apps that probably no one ever uses. And I will be uninstalling / disabling them right after this video. Now on to gaming. I have downloaded once again Asphalt Nitro, and honestly I would expect it to run no problem on this phone, and it's probably going to be quite enjoyable because this thing has a huge massive screen to enjoy it on. Say okay to that. Just allow. Just skip through this. No, I don't want that. I don't want to sign into Google Play anything, because I will not be keeping this game. Insert my information. I'm 17 and I'm a male. At least the last time I checked, I was a male. Jokes. Anyway. Push notifications, no. No thanks. Skip. By the way, this thing does have a bottom firing speaker right there, which sounds pretty good in my opinion. Usual ads. Don't we love them? By the way, that was a joke. If you didn't get what I meant. Come on. Yeah. A little bit laggy. Just a tad. And yes, we are going to wait through this screen because honestly it shouldn't take that long at all. And if you didn't already notice, while this is loading, I am by my window, but it is getting darker, so the light might be worse. And as you can see, it's all red. I'm quite annoyed with that, but I can't do anything about that. I know for the fact that it's my camera that's making it all red, not the light. Or maybe it could be the light. Or possibly it can be both the light and camera. Alright, so it's just about loaded. do notice a bit of choppiness just doing stuff like this, just introduction. And yes, you can cover the cover the speaker quite easily. I'll try not to cover up the speaker. Driving a little erotically. Oh, didn't mean to do that. They blaze past all of them. See ya! But as you can see, no frame droppers whatsoever. Very playable, especially on a big screen like this. Oh god, right into the center. Oops. I always do 3 taps because, well, maximum boost. Take that. Game performance is just very, very enjoyable. Well, as I almost crash. God darn, look at that. I'm not doing so well. Gameplay is smooth overall. No complaints found in gaming with this device. Oh. Going back home nice and fast thanks to the octa-core 615 processor, or 616 processor, and 2 GB of RAM. In conclusion, the Ascend XT is one heck of a device for the price. At Walmart right now, you can pick up this device for the low price of $99, which is what I picked it up for. But just so you know, I did not use actual cash. I did use one of my gift cards. That's all I'm going to say. And so far, I've been really enjoying how fluid and smooth it is. I haven't had one hiccup or lag on me ever since I've had it. It's been quite enjoyable to use. Everything about it is smooth and buttery, and no complaints with usage whatsoever. But there's just one complaint that I have. I do have my SIM card inserted, and as you can see up there, it does say insert SIM. I don't know if that's a bug with the system, or it's a bug with this device, or just how the SIM card is. So that's the only complaint that I have, because I know I should have service. It should say AT&T over here and have the signal bar there. But that's typically the only main complaint I have was the Ascend XT. Like I said, I don't know if it's affecting other users, but it sure is affecting mine. But that really doesn't matter since I don't have AT&T service, meaning I'm not an AT&T customer and probably never will be. But in the end, the Ascend XT is an awesome phone. You get awesome specs, awesome performance, and a really, really nice and crisp 720p 6-inch display. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed my review of the Huawei Ascend XT, and I'll see you guys in my next video.